Federal public servants have won a big concession from Canberra, one that they'll love, one that we'll all pay for, no doubt, with ever lower productivity from our public servants. And it's a concession that will continue to hurt our cities, the small businesses in the cities, the vitality of our CBDs and our general economic prosperity. Yeah, federal public servants have won the right to pretty much work from home if they wish, as much as they want.
Federal public servants can make a request to work from home. The request does not have to be approved in all circumstances, but there's a bias towards yes. So there are limited circumstances it can be refused, but there's a bias towards yes, and there are no caps. Some companies, some government agencies have just come up with arbitrary rules about the number of days in the office and the number of days working from home, and this deal gets rid of those caps as well.
So our government sent workers home in the pandemic, too quickly, of course, and for too long, of course. And, of course, they supplied staff with all the gear and flexibility to make it work from home. And now the workers don't want to go back to the office. That's understandable for some, of course, but unsustainable for any proper workplace. And instead of demanding they return to the office, the cities and the regional centres where taxpayers supply offices and car parks and services, federal public servants will now be allowed to work from home unless it's absolutely necessary for them to turn up. This is a blow to our cities. It's infuriating for many taxpayers who have to go to work and whose taxes pay for the public servants, of course. And if this sort of mollycoddling flows through to state public servants too, it'll get even worse. Our city centres, for starters, will be ghost towns for years to come, and that'll do a lot of damage. And of course, the same push is on in the private sector. The Commonwealth Bank has been trying to get workers back into its offices for months. Now it wants them in at least half the time, 5 days a fortnight, by the end of this month. And the staff and their unions won't even buy that.
I don't think it's fair when our workers are telling us that they go into the office when they're directed to go in, and what they find is half their team is still working from home because they're not all in on the same day. So they have to sit there and do the team meetings online. And they say, why do we have to do that from the office when we can do it from home?
It's not fair. It's not fair because the others aren't in there. You see, that's the problem. They go to work and others are at home. So they reckon they might as well all be at home too. What happened to the old-fashioned notion that your employer wants you at work, therefore you turn up? These people seem to have forgotten who's in charge and who should be able to set the rules, within reason, of course. Listen to the union.
They have not consulted with us or their staff, and what we're saying is you need to do this. People have put arrangements in place for the last 3 years. They can't just turn that around on a month's notice. Like, they need to sit down, we need to work out the best way forward.
This has been going on for months, and the bank is only asking people to turn up every second day, and you want more consultation. How could the bank be less demanding? What are we doing to ourselves in this country? Wait till the economic downturn gets worse. Wait till the banks need to shed staff, or maybe want to lower their costs by outsourcing services to overseas call centres. All those people working from home will suddenly seem very dispensable. Suddenly there'll be a rush back into the office and crowds in the staff kitchen. And maybe that'll all come too late.